With but 2 days in Egypt, what can you see? Well, it can certainly surprise you and delight you. Yet you'll find a big difference between here and the West. However, there is a lot of breathtaking history and great tradition to explore. Cairo's metro area boasts almost 22 million people, but with that there is also a lot of poverty. Traveling past these buildings, you can see where they were apparently cleaved open to make way for the road, but are still occupied today despite their dilapidated and maybe even dangerous state. Here you had to concentrate on the sights and try to ignore the blight. In the center of Cairo is the world-famous Egyptian Museum, a veritable treasure trove of Egyptian antiquity and not to be missed by visitors to Cairo, second only to the pyramids themselves. The museum is soon to be replaced by the Great Egyptian Museum, which is scheduled to open in 2023 on a site close to the pyramids. If you can, use the services of a guide to show you around, for the majority of the exhibits here have little documentation explaining what exactly they are, what they mean, represent, or when and where they were discovered. Without such guidance, you may find yourself lost for words or simply lost in the abundance of all that is before you. But what Egypt is best known for are the pyramids. The one stop every visitor has at the top of their list, one of the original wonders of the world and a place that doesn't disappoint. Walking up to the pyramids, the massive size grows and grows until you are standing next to, on, or even inside. Many find them even bigger than they imagined. In one place you are allowed to walk up the lower levels of the Great Pyramid, affording you a magnificent opportunity to fully grasp the awesomeness of this incredible structure built over 4,600 years ago. One surprise were these feral pups who were playing on the side of the pyramid when we visited, but they shied away from all contact. Going inside is something you must do, but it isn't for everyone. It certainly is an eye-opening experience you won't forget, or regret if you are able and so choose. This is a long way up, bent over at 90 degrees. Alright, here I am at the top. No, that wasn't the top, just the top of the first part, followed by a steep incline as long again, but at least not bent over in half. But what has to be said, what you need to know before going in, is that air circulation is virtually none. This means the oxygen level is far lower than outside, so if you take the climb too fast, like yours truly, you'll be left gasping for air that you just can't seem to find no matter how hard you try. In fact, you are breathing, but the atmosphere inside is close and thin, so it's highly unadvisable for asthmatics and anyone who suffers from claustrophobia, panic attacks, heart conditions, or is just badly out of shape. We saw no warnings of this, but you need to know before venturing inside. But to say you've been in the Great Pyramid is a real feather in your cap. At the top is just an empty stone sarcophagus in a plain room, but you can say you've been there. Then, after your descent, the fresh air outside beckons, and the open doorway becomes a more than welcome sight. From here, take the time to tour the area, get some great photos or video, and even try a camel ride. Warning, completely determine the price for said camel ride before getting on. The price for the full ride. Everything. Scams or hidden extra fees like a fee to get off are not unheard of. At the base of the pyramids is the Sphinx, which you'll see after entering through the Valley Temple. To protect the ancient statue, you'll only be able to see it from a distance. Then, before leaving the site, you'll walk out past a row of market stalls stuffed with cheap souvenirs and some refreshments. And if you want to be treated like a great pharaoh, try visiting a papyrus store. In fact, if you're on a guided tour, try not visiting a papyrus store. It is an interesting presentation, but it does have a hard sell at the end. For a more organic feel of Cairo, or other cities in Egypt, or wherever you may be traveling, take a walk through a market or bazaar. Sure enough, you will find some souvenir stalls or shops, but there's also a lot of fare for the locals who you'll walk with and amongst, providing a better feel for life there than just tacky tourist traps. It's always a great idea to get at least a little off the beaten track, even on a short hop, so you can experience the location's authenticity. If you can, get a ground level understanding from the point of view of someone who lives there, affording you a richer experience. After sunset, you could try the night show at the pyramids, but in truth, you may be better off enjoying a nice dinner instead of this outdated presentation. Maybe a dinner cruise on the Nile complete with entertainment. These are not relaxing romantic cruises, but fast-paced, loud and high-energy buffet dinners. Typically you'll have a DJ or a singer and a dancer or two who will come around and take pictures with you, which of course later they'll try and sell you copies of. For day 2 we booked a trip to Luxor to see the Valley of the Kings, but our tour guide brilliantly didn't try to book the flights to get there until the day before. Surprise, surprise, the flights were sold out. Word to the wise. Make sure that yours are booked and paid for well ahead of time, as the flight cost was not included in the original price, surprising us with a substantial added expense we weren't expecting. So instead, we were driven to Alexandria, where we began our quick highlight tour of the catacombs of Kom el-Shaqafa. I probably pronounced that completely wrong. Dating back to the 2nd century AD, it was carved into the rock down to a depth of 35 meters or 115 feet, and it does make for an interesting stop. Another stop in Alexandria is the Serapeum, basically an overflow library to the original Great Library, which was totally destroyed, and another name I probably butchered. This crumbling, underwhelming, and poorly kept place, in all honesty, doesn't have a lot to offer. The highlights may be the underground passages and a single huge stone column. Odd pieces of broken statues and ancient bits and pieces, not from here, are dotted around to add some visual interest. Only recently discovered in the middle of the 20th century is the Roman amphitheater of Alexandria in Kom el-Dika. I think I got that one right. Dating back to the 2nd century AD, it is still being excavated in places and is the only one of its kind found in Egypt. When you visit, stand exactly in the middle of the amphitheater for a unique auditory experience. Fort Quebe, or the Citadel of Quebe, is an interesting stop, located exactly where the lighthouse of Alexandria was before it was destroyed by earthquakes. So there you have Egypt in 2 days, an ancient country over 5,000 years old, not laden in riches, but rich with history and not short of spectacle that's truly special, utterly unique, and worth the trip. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos. And above all, make sure that you venture near and far.